Welcome to the Richie Show. Thank you for joining me. I'm your host, Rich. Today I had the opportunity of speaking with a brilliant young man from Belize. His name is Jarrell Bird Velasquez. Bird is a professional basketball player. He's a professional basketball trainer. He's a model. He's a musical artist and just an all around jack of all trades, as he says. Um, yeah, I had a really fun time talking and catching up with him. I've known him probably for the past 10, 15 years, but we've never really sat down and talked. And I had the opportunity today to virtually sit down and talk with him. And I really learned a lot about his mentality and what he's done and how he's accomplished it and how he goes about each and every day to accomplish the goals that he sets for himself. There's a quote by George Bernard Shaw that really epitomizes how I feel about Bird, and it always comes to mind when I think of him. It says, "People are always blaming their circumstances for what they are. I don't believe in circumstances. The people who get on in this world are they who get up and look for the circumstances they want, and if they can't find them, make them." And I think that is very evident in his life. Coming from a little country of Belize that is not well known for its opportunities, but Bird has made, he's done well with the ones that he's been granted. And I really think that as you listen to this podcast, you'll understand that his motto of hard work paying off has really, it's really come true for him. And it's not only possible for him, but it's possible for you if you're listening to this. Thank you so much for supporting this show, and thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, share the video, leave a rating. It's now on Apple Podcasts. So, yeah, I just hope you enjoy this show. And without further ado, here's Bird. I'm here with Jarrell Velasquez. Jarrell, thanks for joining me tonight, man.
Pleasure. Nice to be here. Appreciate you having me on.
All right, bro. Yeah, I thought you would be a good candidate to catch up with from Belize. I've admired your resume, what you've accomplished, not just basketball wise, man, but I don't know, how would you classify yourself? Because I'd say you're a basketball player, but you're so much more than that. Like, how would you describe yourself?
Definitely as a jack of all trades, I move with the seasons.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I think you're more of a hustler, man, entrepreneur. Like you got the entrepreneur spirit for sure.
Yeah, that.
Um, yeah, man. So what have you like? We were on the same team last year, and unfortunately, COVID hit, and we got shut down. But what have you been up to since that? I mean, I've followed you on some of your social media, and it looks like some interesting stuff happening. So I just want to know what's going on.
I've been having a lot of fun, working hard, and just kind of brainstorming and reinventing myself, so to speak. Since the coronavirus hit, we weren't able to play basketball, obviously, and so I had a lot of time to spend with my family. That's the most important thing. I was able to come to Belize and just hang out at home, be around my mom, my little brothers and sisters, my nieces, and just able to enjoy some family time. Besides that, I've been in the gym a lot, tapping into my fitness and kind of navigating that way as well while basketball is on pause. So
Gotcha, man. Yeah, I noticed you had some, like, it seemed like some fitness videos that you were like traveling around. I don't know if you were traveling around the country or what,
right,
but you were at all these resorts and stuff. I'm like,
yeah,
man, like meanwhile people are like, just locked up in the house. Bird is like all over the country. Just what was that deal? Was it like you promoting the resorts, or how did that work?
yeah. So how it started out was me and my guy Chris Enriquez from Powerhouse Fitness. Shout out to Powerhouse Fitness. We were at the pool one day and uh, we were just getting ready to hit the pool. We were poolside just hanging out, and he started doing some push-ups. So I'm like, well, let me get in with you and do some push-ups as well. And before you know it, the bartender at the we were at Kikowicz Resort. So the bartender at Kikowicz came and she started recording what we were doing. And she asked if she could share it. And I'm like, yeah, you can share it. Just tag us. And, you know, and we ended up getting some, getting meals and, just opportunities to just kind of enjoy ourselves while we were there. And from there, we were like, this can really become a thing. So I'm big on just kind of monetizing everything that I do, my hobbies and things that I enjoy. So it was just about brainstorming and figuring out creative ways to where we can capitalize off us just working on pool sides. I hit up a couple of people that I knew in the tourism industry, these resort managers and people of that nature, and it became a thing. So we've done 4 resorts so far, and we have a couple other ones coming up. People are starting to reach out, and it's definitely growing.
So, if you don't mind me asking, y'all get paid for it, or is it just you get free stays or free food? Like, what's the deal?
It's definitely a sweet deal. Um, we I'm not gonna say too much about it because certain things need to be kind of kept behind closed doors for
Yeah,
right now. But
yeah.
but we do have a good time. We have a lot of fun with it.
All right, cool. That's fair enough, man. Yeah, like I told my wife, man, I see Bird like all over, like just doing like these resorts. I'm like, man, if you that's promote like to me, it was like an awesome like I don't know business opportunity or whatever because I
Yes,
I feel like these resorts right now, the tourism business has been hit pretty hard with
right.
COVID and everything, and for them to get exposure just for locals, through a um couple well-known guys from Belize. I mean, I think that was a win-win situation because even if you're just getting to stay there, you're still getting to travel around your country and to yeah, to promote them
Right.
at the same time. So
I see it as a win-win situation.
yeah, for sure, for sure. That's the
Mhm.
best business deals they say are win-win situations. So yeah, man, it's crazy. That's crazy. All right, man. So yeah, I got this question down, like, how do you stay motivated? But like, I guess that's a good question because, like, for me, most people struggle to stay motivated. But well, how's that for you? Because I've never seen you out of shape. Like, I mean, you might be out of rhythm, but as
Yeah.
far as physical condition, I've like ever since I've known you for the past 10, 15 years, like you have never been physically unfit.
Right. For me, it's a lifestyle. That's the biggest thing. And as it relates to motivation, I feel like I'm intrinsically motivated, meaning that it's inside me. One, I'm not where I want to be in life. I have a lot of goals that are yet to be accomplished, and that in itself is a big factor as to why I stay motivated. I have siblings. I'm the oldest of 4, so I have little brothers and sisters that look up to me, and they're kind of following the path that I'm setting. So that is another factor for my motivation and just me wanting to live a certain life, and whenever I meet my goals and I accomplish them, I set new ones to kind of always just keep me striving, and so
Yeah.
I feel like that's the biggest factor as to why I stay motivated.
Yeah, that's admirable, man. Like,
Appreciate it.
um, I think who was it? Tony Robbins. You ever listen to Tony Robbins?
I heard
Tony,
Tony Robbins a couple
yeah,
times.
he has this thing where it's not about like being motivated. It's about raising your standards, and I think I can see that in you that you have a certain standard that you hold yourself to, and so it's not about motivation. It's about this is my standard, and this is where this is what I
Right.
expect of myself.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody once said
Um.
motivation comes and goes, but if you're driven, then that's always there.
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
Hmm.
Another one I like about motivation is that motivation is like you said, it comes and goes and it's from without, but inspiration is from within. So I like that too. All right, man. Tell me, like, I don't know. It was Kevin Soroki era at UB that I think I met you. But
Yes, for
what?
sure.
Yeah, who's Jarrell and who's Bird? Tell me how you got the nickname. How'd you get the nickname?
I got the nickname because in primary school, standard 5, I was like 11 years old. I was able to touch the backboard while nobody else in school could. I grew early, so I was tall. I was like 5'10", 5'11" in standard five when everybody else was like 5'7". And I was just able to just jump really high. And so it started off as Blackbird. Obviously, I'm very dark. So so me just jumping high, touching the backboard. There's one dude, he was like, you look like a blackbird, just jumping out so high and whatnot. So all the kids in school used to call me Blackbird, but I used to get offended. So I used to always try to just go at dudes, try to pick fights and whatever. If you call me Blackbird, then it's a problem. And then eventually it just get cut short to Bird, and it just stuck ever since. So I've had this nickname since I was 11. I'm 29 now, so that's some years.
Yeah, man, it sure stuck. It sure stuck. It's a good
Mhm.
name, man. It's a good name. Yeah. So like, what got you in the ball? What like were you always just athletic? Were you like why basketball? Why not soccer? Why not
Yeah.
cycling? Why not something else? You know?
I had an uncle that played basketball. My mom had me watching Lakers game at like 2 years old before I could even remember. So I was always just around basketball, and I
Okay.
always had a passion for it. Just like most kids in Belize, though, I grew up playing football, kickball, baseball, everything where we doing backflips, just a bunch of different stuff. And I always just had a love for basketball though, and I remember when I decided that I really was going to go hard for basketball was fast forward to when I was 15 in I think third form at Belmont Comprehensive School. We had a game, it was my first real basketball game. We grew up playing in the parks, but nothing official. And
Yeah.
so we had a game against Wesley College, right? Leroy Lariana, Gershom Rodriguez. These guys were the defending champions. I was in third form, and I was the sixth man on our team. However, one of our starters got hurt, so he couldn't play. So I had to start. Now I get in. I start. I'm in the game, and I can't shoot to save my life. Right, I used to shoot from my chest, so I can't shoot to save my life. And I got the ball in my first shot. I chucked it up, and I banked it in from the right wing. I'll never forget. I banked it in from the right wing, and it went in, and the crowd just went crazy. So I get the ball again, and I just chuck it up again. And I banked it in from the left wing. So I'm 2 for 2. The crowd, yeah, we not packed UB gym. The crowd is just going crazy. And everybody just screaming, yo, Bird, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And I love that feeling. That was just everything for me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, I'm hot. Give me the rock. So, yo, like, I can even make this up. I get the ball again, and I shoot it, and I banked it in again. Yo, I hit 3 bank shots. And it's all 100% luck. It was all luck. No skill,
That's
but it
it.
was just the right place at the right time. And it was like, I'd say about maybe 500-600 people in the gym,
Oh wow,
school
yeah.
nationals, going up against the defending champions. We had a 10-point lead in that game going into the half. And I was just like the reason we were up, like the electricity in the room, sparking my team. And something crazy happened. People started throwing like pint bottles on the court. And keep in mind, we were the work, like this Wesley team was way better than us, way more talented. We just had the home court advantage because it was in Belmopine, and I was having like an outer body experience.
Yeah.
So with them like throwing stuff on the court, they had to stop the game, send us back in the locker room, and wait until police officers came to the game to get everything under control. And by the time we had that killed our momentum. So we were in the
Yeah, for
back for like
sure.
20 minutes. And when we got back out, the better team just won. We couldn't
Yeah.
handle Leroy
Yeah.
and Gershom and those dudes. And but after the game, I had a good game. After the game, I think I finished with like 12 to 15 points. But I didn't even, like, just the feeling of having the crowd behind me and just being out there imposing my will, all luck.
Yeah.
It was just a feeling that I wanted again, and that was December 15th. It was one day before my birthday. It was December 15th, I think 2007. And that was the day I decided, you know what, I want to be a professional basketball player. And I said, I'll never forget it. I said, I'll celebrate my birthday and enjoy this Christmas. And on January 7th, 2008, I'm going to start working on my game and training like a maniac just to become a pro. And that's what I did. That's exactly what I did. And I just had, ever since that day, like I just had the passion for it. And I prayed to God. I was like, God, I just want you to, bless me with work ethic. I not ask you for be good or for be the best. I just want you to bless me with work ethic. And he did. And
Yeah, for
I
sure.
still got that fire. I just go at it.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. So what, like, okay, you said, obviously somebody had to have like instilled some of that ethic in you, don't you think? Or would you think that was all
Yeah.
supernatural?
Oh, nah, for sure. I've seen,
Yeah, like
I
so.
saw it right at home, with my
Okay.
parents. I didn't grow up with my dad, but just my mom, just working as hard as she works, single parent household, her just being on her grind to make sure that we have everything we need in order to be comfortable, and I was blessed to develop a relationship with my dad at around the same time we had that game, about 15, 16. And he got deported. So he was always in America. However, he got deported. He was back in Belize and then he was in my life. And so me spending time with him, I remember one morning waking up at 5 a.m. to impress him because, he was just on his grind. And he called me. He said, "Good morning, late bird." I was thinking I was an early bird, but he gets up from 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, burning CDs, pressing it up, working out, making breakfast for when I wake up. So when I saw that, I was like, I gotta go harder. But I always had him to kind of just look to just the way how he works. And so it wasn't just super nice. I saw it, I definitely saw it with my parents and my
Yeah.
dad just being on his grind and doing his thing.
Yeah, I think I met your dad, like, I mean, not officially, but just him out on the street selling CDs or something. And
Yeah,
man, I see that spirit in you because, like my wife, I, I have a soft spot. Like if somebody out there, like trying to make something of themselves, I'm gonna like,
yeah,
I want to respect that. I want to, like, I'd rather buy something from you than for you to come and ask me for money.
right.
I respect that. But like with your pops, I remember one time he sold me like three DVDs, bro. I still ain't watched them. I watched like one or two. But
Right,
my wife was like, "Why'd you buy those?" I'm like, I can't say no. Like,
right.
dude, just like
Facts, yo, it's
uh,
just like that, right?
yeah, that's crazy, bro. Like, yeah,
Appreciate the
for sure though.
support.
Yeah,
Appreciate the
man.
support.
But yeah, when I wanted to ask you about mentors and like who it was, but I had a suspicion, like, because I see you in I see him in you. Not that I know your dad, but like I just see that spirit, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, but what, like, so do you think, like, all right, how do I phrase this? Because I don't want to be Belize, coming out of Belize, like I played basketball coming out of Belize. Like I got an opportunity and I capitalized on it and played Division 1 basketball. You have done, like, you didn't go that route, but you've
right.
done a lot with what you have. Like I mean,
Hmm.
why don't you kind of tell me tell me what happened? Like you played college level in Belize, but then like you ended up going to China on some entrepreneur stuff again, because then I used to see you doing skill work, like training kids, you're playing in tournaments, you're modeling.
Right.
In the meantime, you're still rapping, like
Yes,
bro,
sir.
you do everything, man, for real.
Yeah.
Like, and the thing is, it's like, they say, jack of all trades, master of none, but you're good at you're good at it. Like, you're good at your
Right.
skills. Like, you're good at, like, your rhymes. You're good at what you do. It's not like
Appreciate
you're
that.
sorry
Right.
at one of them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
Yes,
yeah,
sir. Right.
tell me about China, man. Tell me how that happened.
Yeah. So hard work always pays off, and sometimes, a lot of times, it's not going to pay off in the way that you think or you expect, but it will pay off. And I'm a firm believer of that. I work too hard to not make it and to get opportunities. So when it came to me going to China, Coach Tar, shout out Coach Tar, he came to me with an opportunity. I was in school at the time, still at Galen University, and I was playing in Mexico. I was playing in a pro league in Mexico, and it was wild because I was in school in Belize, and I would play in Guatemala City on Tuesdays. So I would catch a taxi from Galen to Petén, fly from Petén to Guatemala City, play the night. The next day, which is a Wednesday, fly back to Belize and go to school. And then on Friday, I would catch a bus from Galen to Corozal, cross the border through Chetumal, and get on a 16-hour bus ride, like a Greyhound, to a place called Chiapas, and play on the weekends in Chiapas, and then come back to Belize on Monday and go to Guatemala on Tuesday. So I was living in 3 countries,
Oh
playing
my
basketball, just
gosh,
chasing the
bro.
dream. And it was so tiring, but I was gonna do anything to get an opportunity. And so I did it for about 2 months, and under the radar as well. I could talk about it now. There's no statute limitations on it. But so under the radar, however, I kind of let coach know what I was doing. So he eventually asked me to stop. And he was like, yo, stop going to all these leagues, focus on school. You're in a full athletic scholarship. Don't take it for granted. He told me something that will always stick with me. He said these leagues will always be there, but you only get one chance to get a degree, and it was hard to ask because me coming from having to ask my mom for money to catch bus to go to school. Now I'm getting paid to play basketball, and then you're asking me to just quit, and he was like, you have to see the bigger picture. And he was like, if you get this degree, I have a job for you in China. He knew some people, and he said it's not to play though, it's to train, which I was already training people. I was already, doing skill work and stuff. And the way I got good at that was just by me just working hard on my game. So I just knew all the drills, and I kind of knew how to teach it and break it down. And I was studying film and workouts and stuff. And so the job he had for me in China was just basically what I was already doing, but on a higher level. And so I just had to finish school. So once I finished, I had a job before I even finished. In fact, before I even finished. So when I finished that semester, I went to China probably 2 weeks after, and I got out there. I signed with a company called 5 Star Sports, which is the biggest foreign-owned training company in China, in the entire country. And so I was with a big time company. They had a partnership with Nike. And so all the Nike athletes that would come to China in the summertime, we would get to work with them and meet them and pick their brain and do camps and workshops and things of that nature. So I was out there, and I could still play. I work on my game. I could play. And the pros, the ex-NBA guys and the top college guys that were out there realized that I could actually hang, And so
Yeah.
I developed relationships with a couple of dudes that really put me on. Hassan Adams played about 3 years in the league, and my guy Thomas Smith, he was in the same draft with LeBron, D Wade, Carmella, and those dudes. He was a second round pick in that draft, and those dudes, those are the NBA guys in China. They get all the games, all the opportunities, and because they saw me as their little brother, they kind of put me onto a few opportunities, and I killed. I just did my thing. When I got the opportunity, I showed out, and then from there, opportunities just came, and that kind of led on to the modeling and the endorsement deals and things of that nature. So I found myself out there going to China to train kids, but just with me doing, kind of being a jack of all trades and having these many talents that I try to always not sit on. Opportunities came for me to model, for me to train, for me to play games. I was in the studio, I did some shows, all that. So I feel like I have
Ah,
probably 4 or 5 things that I'm really good at and that I enjoy doing, and I just try to capitalize off those things at all times. So
Yeah, man.
that's how I ended up in China though.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. And like that for like the reason I asked that is because I wanted to like so many people and like I feel like you worked harder for your opportunities than I
Oh,
did. Like, like for me,
mm,
like I had a dream too. Like, and
yeah,
I did work, but like I don't know how to put it. Like, yeah, I feel like the opportunity just kind of, I mean, like I always put it like God opened doors for me, like
yeah,
stuff
for sure.
happened. But to go along with that, I did have a work ethic too, because
Yeah,
like the first opportunity I got was just like it just kind of fell in my lap where I came to the States wanting to play basketball, and I was just like working construction and not even I don't even really know if I was hooping. Like I mean, I, for a spell like I wasn't really working on my game, but then I got a call from a JUCO. Long story short, like when I got to JUCO, it was like, all right, I'm going D1, and I was just redshirting. But then I started working like every day I was in the gym. Every day I was in the gym. But getting back to the question I was gonna ask, like, what do you say to people in Belize that say like, like there's no opportunities? Because that's huge. Like, I mean, it's from top down, like there is no opportunity. And maybe it's harder, but like for me looking at you, it's like, man,
yeah,
that's not true. Like if you like you that I think, and that's what this show is about. Like I like to um for people to share their stories so that other people can be like, yo, if he did it, I
yeah,
can do it too, and I feel like that was what was key for me. Like I had just seen Engelbert Sherrington, I'd seen Chaka Lightburn get scholarships to the States, and I was like, man, that's what I want to do. And I knew
yeah,
it was possible. And like I tell my wife, like when I got my scholarship, that was it. Like I had achieved what
yeah,
I saw was possible. Now, if I
mhm,
had known somebody that had gotten a scholarship and went to the league, it would have been another level, because then I would have realized that, what, hey, that's possible. So like the reason I
right,
say that is because um I want, like, that's why we have you on. I want you to share your story so that
mhm,
somebody in Belize, some young kid that might hear this over and over, hey, there's no opportunity here in Belize, but he realizes that you pretty much make your opportunity. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
for sure. I will say this: I used to follow you a lot growing up. You were before you went to the States. You used to go to John's, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yep. And guys like Murta, shout out Murta, would always talk about you and you being in the States and you doing your thing. But you were in school in Belize, before you did that. So you telling me now that that opportunity kind of fell in your lap. I didn't know that. I was just like, yo, if Richard Troy I could make it from Belize, yo, I could make it from Belize. If I just felt like you just had to really work. I felt like my goal was to make the NBA. No, me being at this age and understanding the dynamics and the work ethic, the politics, and what all has to go right for you to make it to the league. I didn't know that back then, but I'm glad I didn't know that, because if I did, if I knew what the reality was, I probably would have been discouraged. But they say ignorance is bliss, and just my ignorance and me just wanting being a young hungry kid that just wanted an opportunity so bad. I was just working and seeing guys like you. I remember I was Googling you one time, probably like 10 years ago. And if I'm not mistaken, it says you were playing in Mexico. I don't think me and you we've never had this conversation before, but I used to
No.
Google you all the time. I used because you were doing what I wanted. You were doing exactly what I wanted to do. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh wow, he gonna Johns and he gonna stay at he play around at Price. Oh, he not Mexico. Nah, I could do this stuff. Mexico, that right there. So because you were playing in Mexico, I started reaching out to teams and coaches in Mexico. 4 or 5 years later, I ended up in Mexico. No,
That's
me and you
crazy.
never had this conversation. Here we are
Nope.
now talking, but I ended up in Mexico partly because of you. Because I remember
That's
Googling you
wild.
and it said, yo, you played in Mexico. So I'm like, I want to play in Mexico then.
Yeah, yeah, man. That Mexico League is tough, man. People think, oh, it's just
Oh, yeah.
Mexico, but that Mexican League had some dudes.
You were in the Cibacopa League or the
No, back when I was there, it was
LMBP?
the LN. What was it?
BP?
The
LMBP.
LNP. Yeah, yeah, that's
That's
what
the
it was.
top league in Mexico as well.
Yeah, it was. It was the top league.
It still
I didn't.
is.
Yeah, I didn't stay like because we were on a team that was like it was just getting started and they weren't paying us,
Okay.
and so I
Okay.
left early. But looking back, I mean, I should have just stayed. I mean, like and that's where I think it pays to have mentors, man. Like have people that can speak into your life and be like, yo,
Right.
and that you respect, and that's one thing. Looking back, I didn't have that like in college, like didn't have somebody that had been there that had done it before and
Yeah.
come,
Kind of
you
show
know what I
you the
mean?
ropes, right?
Exactly. And so like I'm gonna take this opportunity just like and I know you down with this too, but like for young guys in Belize, like if they ever want to reach out to me, I'm cool with it, man, because like I wish I had somebody to reach out to in college.
Right. Right.
Uh, but yeah, so if anybody listens to this and they need some need a little mentorship, like I'm happy to, and I know you are too.
Me as
So
well. Right. For sure. For sure.
yeah, man. So
You mentioned opportunity and just creating your own, right?
yeah,
Um, yeah, I'm big on that. It for me coming from Belize, how I feel like I created certain opportunities was just with the internet. We live in a day and age where the internet is right at our fingertips. Um, and I would encourage everybody to just use it. I feel like if you're not, you got to get with the times, and you'll be left behind if you don't. I used to email coaches and players. I used to be in people's DMs before it became DMs. Just players and just guys that were doing what I wanted to do and just asking them, hey, I'm Jarrell Velasquez. I'm from Belize. Blah blah blah. And I remember like the top NBA players now, guys like Russell Westbrook and John Wall and Bradley Beal. These guys, Kyrie Irving. These guys are my age. So when I was in high school, these guys were in high school as well. And I
yeah,
used to go on scouthoops.com and
uh-huh.
look up all the top guys that were 6'1", 6'2", 180 pounds, and I would find them on Facebook. So
Uh-huh.
if I go my Facebook right now, I still have John Wall on Facebook, Harrison Barnes, because I used to talk to these guys 12, 15 years ago.
Before they were in the league.
Yeah, before when they were in high school, and I would tell them, "Hey, I'm a kid from Belize. I just follow what you're doing. I want to know how you work out, how you eat." And some of them would respond, some of them wouldn't. But I remember me and Harrison Barnes. Shout out to Harrison Barnes. We used to talk all the time. He was like, "Where is Belize? That's so dope that you know about me." He was a junior in high school at the time.
That's crazy, bro.
Yes, sir. So, but I'm just telling you the ones that I ended was fortunate to speak with. I messaged hundreds of those dudes, coaches. I used to email. I used to try to email John Calipari because I wanted to go to Kentucky. Just ignorant, but I was doing stuff like that. And when I just kept doing it, and I ended up finding opportunities nearby in Central America, in Guatemala, Mexico, El Salvador. And before I went to China, I was in all of those countries because coming from Belize, I found out that all these countries, they want foreign players, and
Yeah,
everybody would go for an American. But if they know that you can play just as good, it's
yeah,
much cheaper to get somebody from right here. And
yep.
so I kind of made a name, and just everybody knew I was willing to work. Hey, you don't have to fly me out. I'll get on an 18-hour bus ride. I just want to play. And yeah, I expect to be paid, and I expect to go out there and I'm gonna ball out and show you that I can play with anybody. But I just want the opportunity, and I was like that. And so opportunities came because I created it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing.
there was a quote I was looking for, but I didn't find it. But it says pretty much what you're saying is like, those that get on in life are those that go out and create their own opportunities. And every time whenever I think of you, I think of that quote because I've seen that in your life, man. Highlights of your career so far. What would you say would be like the highest point, and also, well, let's cover the lowest point first. Like, what was there a time when you were just like, man, I'm done. Like
Mhm.
this is not working out. Like I'm gonna
Yeah,
throw in the towel.
never to that point. Like I don't think I ever get to that point, hopefully, but definitely I had a low moment last year, coming back from China, playing with you, Western, what's it called? What
Verdes.
was, Verdes, right? I was about to say
Yeah,
Western
yeah.
Ballers. Shout out
Well,
Verdes, Rory Barrera and the crew.
yeah,
But yeah, just coming back unexpectedly, and then just being on a team with guys that I know and guys that I got to know in Chris and Devin, TJ and these guys, but me not fitting in right away, and eventually it was gonna happen, but it didn't happen yet. It was still, I still had to kind of find my spot. And we were a team that, and we were still winning games though. We
yeah,
played 3 games and we won 2 and lost 1, but we
yeah.
were still winning while we were figuring it out. But I never got to really show what I could do. And then we ended up finishing the season on a low, on a loss, I should say.
Yeah.
And that was just a sour taste in my mouth because I never had a chance to really fit in, and kind of show what I can do and what I've been working on, and have it translate to being back home. And then the
Sure.
coronavirus came and they canceled the season and basketball was done. So my last game in Belize was just a terrible game for me. And I had to sit down on that for like 6 months. It took me a while. So many days I'd just be looking at the ceiling, just shaking my head, just tight, because, it just didn't go the way I envisioned it in my head, and that was
Yeah.
tough. But as a pro, you got to, move on from that. It's easy to do when you have a next game, but when that's the last game and there's no games coming up,
Yeah.
I just got to take that one to the chin, And so it was tough. Not only that, but me just having to come home from China. I was on top of the world. I had just signed a contract with the Jordan brand, and this is something that I don't put out, but I'm saying it here. But I had signed a contract with the Jordan brand, a 10-day contract to do comps, to go on tour. So
Wow.
yeah, so, and that, for me, coming from Belize, no agent, no managers, me negotiating my own deals, and to sign with MJ, that's, I mean, and then the coronavirus came and just everything got canceled, and
Yeah,
and
man.
and
That's
yeah, that was tough. That was tough. So I had I lost my apartment. Um, Obviously my 100% of my income, thank God I had a savings and I was being smart, while everything was good. But just losing all my, my opportunities, the modeling, the playing, the training, uh, and then just having to come right back home and basically start all over,
yeah.
with the taste of having a bad last game in my mouth. It was just a lot, but I
Yeah.
used it as an opportunity to just, remain strong. And it's a test, it tested my character and I didn't fold. And now
That's
while
great,
things are
man.
starting to build back up, I could always look back and say, I took that on the chin,
Yeah.
when things weren't easy, when things were hard, and when a lot of other people would have folded, I stood firm, and I'm proud of myself for that. Because now
Yeah.
things are definitely looking up again, and think opportunities are starting to come around. But I can always look back and say I'm battle tested.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, that's something to
Yeah.
be proud of for sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, high. The high of your career so far, would it have been something in China, or yeah, like what would you consider as being one of probably the highest moment in your career so far?
The highest moment would just be me being in, not necessarily China, but just being in the position that I was in, with doing what I love. I would say, like, for example, I always wanted to be a pro player. Never in my life did I dream of being a pro trainer. I didn't even know that was a job that existed, you know.
Yeah,
But to be certified, and to pay my dues and study and attend all these workshops and stuff, so that I have the qualifications to work anywhere in the world, and just knowing that, and me doing what I was doing in China and in the US and in Europe while playing basketball at a high level, not in a league, but just different tournaments and tours worldwide, doing that with the modeling and just just doing all of those things and having the opportunity to know that okay, this week I'm a trainer. I have this comp that I'm doing 2 weeks from now. I have 4 games in 6 days. And at the end of the month, I have a commercial for Gatorade, but just doing all that and kind of and balancing it out without having an agent or without having anybody really like in my on my side, almost kind of creating these opportunities from scratch and knowing where I came from and that I have a whole country that supports and that's behind me, and I'm not just doing it for me, but I'm representing them.
Yeah.
That's to me the
Yeah.
highs. And even though I'm not necessarily there right now physically,
Yeah.
these things are still, it's still what I do. I just came back from Tennessee. I was working on some certificates out there. I'm working on a fitness one right now so I can get my fitness to kind of the level where my basketball training is, and so, I'm working with these guys that's in the NBA draft and the top pros and the top pro trainers and players in Tennessee. So just building connections out there, which is close to Belize, which is where you're at. So, the next time I'm there, we're gonna
Yeah.
link up.
For sure.
So
For
kind of
sure.
just, yeah, just I'm still in the highs in what I do, basically. And I'm enjoying every minute of it.
Yeah, man, I can tell you're passionate about what you do for sure. Yeah,
Right.
and it's yeah, like I was so surprised because like you told me you were coming to the States because we were trying to make this interview happen, and then I was like, yeah, for sure he's going to like New York, LA, Chicago, one of these spots. And then I
Yeah.
hit you up and you're like, I'm in Tennessee. I said, what? What you doing in Tennessee? Like
Yeah.
like an hour from where I'm at. That's crazy.
Right.
Yeah,
Maryville. Shout out
man.
Maryville, Tennessee.
Hanging out in Gatlinburg. Gatlinburg's where I went on my honeymoon.
Oh, really?
And yeah, like
Okay,
yeah, I
okay.
grew like a lot of times when we would come to the States when I was a boy, like I have a lot of family in this area, but like the Smoky Mountains was somewhere where we would go and we would drive around, and
Okay.
it's a beautiful place, man. Like the Smoky
Nice.
Mountains. Yeah, I'm from the country, bird.
All right.
I like the hills, bro. I can't do
Yeah. Hey, I
Knoxville, although
like I
like
like Gatlinburg. I like
yeah,
Gatlinburg.
yeah,
Shout out
it's
my people from the Gatlinburg Inn. My girl Mel, she's out there in Gatlinburg. She
all
showed me a
right.
good time. Took me on
That's
the
what's up,
sky
man.
lift. So I was doing all that.
Yeah, just the other day I was looking at some YouTube videos trying to figure out where we're gonna go for our anniversary this year, and I saw the skylift, and it's like I had this memory, and my wife did too, because like we were there on our anniversary, but neither of us could remember if we went on the skylift. Like, but
uh
it's like I remember like we did, but
yeah.
I don't have any
But
vivid memories
vaguely.
of. It's crazy, man.
Y'all gotta do the sky lift. Y'all gotta do the
Yeah.
sky lift, bro.
Ah, man, goals, bird. Like, how do you set goals? How do you is it something you write down? Do you have a method for setting your goals?
Yeah, I have short term and long term goals, and I write it down every day. I make my plan for the week every Sunday, and so Sunday evening, 5 p.m., I'm off limits to the world. It takes me about from 5 to about 8:30 to just write in detail everything that I have going on for the week, and that's how I kind of develop, just my goals. I start small, and then I have plans for the next 6 months and the next 5 years and the next 10 years, and so I'm big on writing it down and just going from there.
Yeah, man. I this is so crazy because like I feel like your mentality is so different from like just I don't I don't know, man. It's crazy.
You said I don't know.
I don't want to say too much because it's might get me in trouble. Might get me in trouble. But
Shucks.
what I will say is that like I think a lot of like you're a gold mine for young talent in Belize, man. I think they should really like hit you up and um, you know, ask you how you accomplish what you accomplish, because I think like I said, the opportunity kind of fell in my lap to where I, ended up playing Division 1 basketball and going on to play professional basketball. Not that I didn't work, and I don't want that to be an excuse to kids, but
Yeah.
I mean, I think your journey is a testament to just hard work paying off, and you've said it before, like, and just believing in yourself and believing in what you can
Mhm.
accomplish, and going out and getting it, man. And like, I think you're a gold mine for young guys in Belize. I would encourage people to reach out to you and to follow you on your social media platforms, and to not just look at the end product, not just look at, oh yeah, Bird's like, he's training here, he's doing that. Ask how you got there,
Yeah.
ask about the work that goes into it, because like, that's for me. Like, I see the stuff you're doing, and
Yeah.
I understand, because like, I've traveled a journey myself. I understand that stuff does just doesn't happen. It
Right.
just, there's a lot that goes into accomplishing goals and being in positions of opportunity that flies under the radar. And yeah, I encourage young guys, whoever had, like, I mean, yeah, you're a gold mine, bro. Like, to accomplishing goals.
And I mean,
Yeah, man, winding
with
down. Go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say like even us just having the opportunity to play on the same team, even though it's a couple games, but me being at practice and you coming through early before everybody else. I'm there early because I'm always there early, but you're there early as well, and you got the whatever that thing called for clean off the court. Get the dust off the court, and then you need to get your form shooting in and your pre-practice shots up, your reps, and after practice, challenging dudes to one-on-one. You being what, 37
Yeah,
37
I'm
at the time,
37.
right?
Yeah. I was 36. I'm 37 now, if I
Okay,
remember.
right. But you just being a vet on the team, you being, a guy with probably the most mileage, but still showing up early and leaving late. That's a testament to your hard work. I can remember us playing. I think I played against you one time in Belmont, and you were. I was just so young and just hungry. I just wanted it. I'm at the game. We have a game against you guys, and the game is at like 9. I'm at the gym from 7:30 getting a full workout in before the game. And then I played the game and I'm out there getting shots up after the game. And you told me, you were like, you said, hey, don't go too hard before the game, just kind of giving me some game about how to kind of structure my pregame, because I was doing way too much, and you just being a
Yeah,
vet with more experience, you came to me and everything you told me every time was always gold. Like, I never forgot it. It was like,
I
yo,
appreciate
just
that, bro.
yeah, just kind of tone it down instead of going for like a hour. You just really need 30 minutes, and just kind of breaking it down. And I was like, you know what, he's right. And so ever since then, you and I never had this conversation, like I said, but ever since then, I kind of had more structure to my pregame routine and stuff like that. And I always appreciate the game that you give. You were somebody I always looked up to and just looked at from a distance, and like kind of just wanted to kind of emulate, to a certain
Yeah,
emulate, but
yeah,
do more,
yeah,
always, I was
yeah,
like,
for
yo, if he
sure.
do this, then I wanted that and then some. And
Yeah,
so you were always that. So when
amazing.
we got to link up in San Ignacio this year, seeing the old man come through with whatever the wind blower thing is and the shot, like, yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah, bro. And Kaya, I was like the custodian, like the physical trainer. Like, I had taping
Yeah,
dudes'
the
ankles,
brown,
but
yo, shout out the brownies and
yeah.
and the farm fair, every Wednesday,
Oh
right? I
yeah,
think I got
bro.
a
My
couple
wife.
times.
Yep,
Huh?
yep, yeah.
Right.
My
Every
wife,
every
my wife would
Wednesday, the,
always
the
bake the
snacks.
goods.
You had creatine for the team before the game. I was like, yo, this dude different. I like it. I like it, yo. We have a link. We gotta link up again, yo. We gotta link up and
Yeah,
do it
man.
right. We gotta link up and
Yeah,
do it
for
right.
sure, man. I don't know, bro. I can't guarantee that's gonna happen, bro. But I'll
Ah,
definitely be there for you, man. I'll be cheering
yeah.
you on. I think I'm done.
We need one more, yo. One, I start the campaign. No, one more. You gotta do it right.
Oh, I would love to. I don't know. See, that's the thing though. Like, my competitive nature is there. Like I wanna compete,
Yeah,
but the thing that is not there is like the desire to like or the will really to put in like because I would get up at like 4 like because I work full time up here, and then
right.
the Belize season is like right in the winter, right? So
Yeah.
I get up at like 4 o'clock, drop on a bunch of clothes, go outside doing ladders and all kind of stuff. I'm
Uh,
like, bro, I can't do that no more, man. I'm done. I'm done.
I feel you.
Yeah,
Buddy.
man. But oh man, yeah, bro. It's been fun, bro. Let me ask you the
Mm,
last question. I think there was something I wanted to ask you, but if I remember, I'll ask you after this. But if you could be
okay.
remembered for like three things, man, like
Mhm.
after you've accomplished all your goals and done everything in life that you wanted to do, like what would be the three things that you would be remembered for? You could
The
only be
first one
remembered for
is I never made any excuses. Never when things weren't ideal and when things didn't look like it was gonna happen. I always told myself like I'm just gonna give it everything I have, and if I never make it, I can sleep with myself at night because I gave it my best shot. And I'm not gonna make any excuses. I'm just gonna give it my best shot and just leave it to God and
yeah,
control what I can. So definitely the first one would be that I didn't make any excuses. The second one would be that I worked hard. I worked hard. I was diligent. I'm really strategic, and not just working hard in on the court because that's what people see. And in the gym, people see the shoulders and the body and the drills and whatever, but they don't see me studying film at 2 a.m. They don't see me. I have a bachelor's degree in marketing from Galen. So all this stuff that you see on my social media, I went to school for that. You know, I mentioned being certified. With USA basketball, CJ McCollum basketball, NBA China. These things aren't always fun. To sit behind a laptop 8 hours a day for 2-3 days and just have to read and watch a ton of videos. And sometimes it gets boring. Sometimes it gets hard. But you just gotta, I say, fall in love with the process of being great. And when it's not as fun, that's what's going to separate the good from the great ones and the ones who really, set themselves apart. So that I worked hard, and lastly, that I had fun. Life is if this isn't fun, I don't want to do it. Long term, and I'm having a good time with this life that I live. It's a lot of ups and downs, but I'm definitely having a good time. I walk around with a smile on my face just because life is good. In these times where people are dying from this virus, and
yeah,
from just what the world is going through. We have health and strength. My family is good. My friends are good. And the people that I genuinely care about are good. So that's reason to smile. And I'm having fun just traveling the world, playing ball, and doing what capitalizing on my talents. And I feel like that's the way life is supposed to be. Figuring out what's your purpose and just having fun with it. And I could have fun with this because this is what I love. I get to wake up every day and just be JBV, Jarrell Burn Velasquez, and kind of enjoy the process of just being me. So those are the three things that I would definitely want to be remembered for.
oh man, that's great. That's good stuff right there. Yeah, man. Like, if you where can people follow you on Instagram, Facebook?
Yeah,
Shoot.
Instagram, Jarrell Burn Velasquez. Jarrell Burn Velasquez on Instagram, and it's the same on Facebook. Jarrell JBV Velasquez on Facebook. My Chinese people, they follow me on WeChat. And that's a whole different conversation for another day. But my Chinese people follow me at Jarrell Burn Velasquez on WeChat, Taobao Douyin, and all of those good stuff.
You really speak Chinese, bro?
A little bit. I'm getting worse because I'm not using it, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
definitely I know how to get around. I could hold my own, and I've been there 4 years. I had a tutor the last two
Okay,
years,
okay.
so she would come over twice a week, and we would get it in. So I could definitely hold my own in Chinese and
Yeah,
Mandarin.
man. I saw that. I think it was the story you posted on Instagram where you say you
Yeah.
You got that Chinaman gonna leave without conflicts. But then you
Yeah,
said the thing that cracked me up was that you said and I do this too because like my wife like a Pennsylvania Dutch to my kids, right?
yeah. I
But
already know.
when you said like you was just chopping it up with the Chinese man in Chinese and then you forgot how to say something, you just said it in
Yeah,
Spanish.
I said right.
Bro, I
Yo,
so relate to that.
you did that as well. You did that as well.
Yeah, because my wife talks Pennsylvania Dutch to the kids,
Yeah,
like especially the baby.
yeah.
So I try as much as I can, but then there's some stuff I just lose it, and then like my first instinct is Spanish, bro. I don't know why.
Right. That hilarious. That
Oh man, it's
hilarious. So,
crazy.
so I know you feel where I'm gonna come from. You definitely understand
Completely,
where I was
I
coming
could
from.
totally relate. Totally relate. Oh
Yo,
man,
good
Bird, man,
times.
it's been real. It's been real fun. I've really
Yeah,
enjoyed it, man. Like I
appreciate
appreciate
you,
you
bro.
taking the time to get on here. Yeah, and I
Hmm.
just want to commend you, man, on all you've accomplished and all you continue to accomplish, and on your hard work and just your grind, man. Like I really admire that in you, and yeah, keep it up, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep bringing JBV to the world, man.
Thank you, bro. Definitely appreciate you having me on, and
You're doing a
it's a
great
pleasure
job.
to chop it up with you, and spend time with great people. And when I'll be back out there in like a month and a half, so I'm telling you ahead of time, so clear your schedule up so we can link up.
All right.